What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Damien After Dark. I'm so glad you have decided to come and join me. Today, we're going to be talking about episode 2 of Playboys New Orleans that airs on Now That's TV. If you like Zeus Network, Now That's TV, reality TV, and all the recaps and more, you've come to the right place, okay? But before we begin, make sure you get subscribed by clicking the subscribe button right below this video down there. And also click the thumbs up button and like the video. That's the most important thing. If you don't do anything else, if you would just like this video, that helps me get into the YouTube algorithm where more beautiful people like yourself can find me here, okay? Now, also, I would love to hear what you guys thought about episode 2 of Playboys New Orleans. So please get in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts and opinions. I love reading you guys' comments when it comes to these episodes, okay? I love seeing your perspective. Do we agree? Do we not agree? Sometimes you guys give me a different outlook on it, right? Sometimes I might have an opinion on something and then I'll read you guys' comments and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't look at it that way. So I really need you guys, and that's why I say that you're my co-host, because you help me out a lot here, okay? Last but not least, before we get into the video, if you would like to join the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be ways that you can donate to the movement. And what does that mean? Some people say, what does that mean, donate to the movement? And when you donate to the channel, you know, we're growing over here. I think I told some of you guys I'm getting a new set. I'm getting a whole new background. I'm getting microphones. I'm trying to update the lights in here. I'm trying to grow and expand. And with your help, I'll be able to do that. Now, I am funding a lot of this on my own, which is fine. But if you choose to help, in the description box below will be ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and I will also post my Amazon wish list for anybody that chooses to take that route. If you leave a super chat, please be mindful that YouTube will take 50% of the money that you guys donate to us creators, okay? Thank you guys so much for the love, all right? I appreciate all that. The liking the videos, subscribing, commenting on my videos. I appreciate all that. So, episode 2 of Playboys New Orleans. We're just going to get right into it. This episode picks up from last week's episode where we saw Blueface Barbie, who is a producer on this show. She pulled Yari, Blaze, and Ruby aside. And she was like, look, I want you guys to talk this out. No more fighting, right? So Yari, instead of trying to talk the situation out, he takes advantage of Ruby sitting down because Ruby is seated. And Yari takes advantage of that and he runs up on Ruby, okay? To talk their differences out, but there's no talking the differences out. Maybe there is no dialogue. It's straight to it, all right? It's straight to it. Yari goes straight to it. He runs up on Ruby, and baby Ruby turned into Red Ruby the Sleaze. Okay? Ruby turned into Red Ruby the Sleaze. Yari wasn't ready. Yari was not ready for what Ruby had coming. We see Ruby go to Pound Town on him. I mean, he tore that boy up. I'm like, Yari, you fucked with the right one because he fucked you up. All right? He went to Pound Town. Pound Town. Just left Pound Town. Where, Yari, I just put that ass down. And Yari, you kept giving Ruby the opportunity to put you on the ground. I noticed that every opportunity that Ruby got, he would, boom, put Yari on the ground. It's like, what we doing? You know? And the whole time I'm watching this episode, I'm like, aren't these boys in New Orleans? Isn't the show called Playboys New Orleans? Why do we have to watch them in a warehouse or a studio the whole time? I just want to see them go out. Like, can we go out in the strip of New Orleans? Can we go out drinking? Can we go out partying? Can we go to a strip club? Can we go do something? Like, anything? Now, Ruby brings up the fact that Yari thinks he stole his cologne, right? He keeps saying, oh yeah, Yari thinks I stole his cologne. After I cleaned your bathroom. I cleaned your bathroom and this is how you repay me? Now remember, Ruby lived with Yari for like 3 or 4 days. So in this time that he lived with Yari, Yari claims that Ruby stole his cologne. He said, you lived with me for those 3 or 4 days, and when you left, my cologne came up missing. Now, Ruby is saying, how dare you accuse me of stealing your cologne when I cleaned your bathroom? I cleaned your bathroom. And I'm just thinking, Ruby, if you're living with someone, boo, let me put you on a little bit of game. A little bit of life lessons 101. If you're living with someone, the least you can do is clean their motherfucking bathroom, bitch. Okay? How you gonna sit up there and act like cleaning the bathroom is a flex? You should have cleaned the whole goddamn house if you're not, especially if you ain't giving up no coint. You know what I'm saying? If you're not giving up no coint, the bathroom is the least you can do. Contribute thy coins, and I doubt you are contributing any coins, Ruby. Now he goes on to say, he says, I cleaned your whole crib. It was nasty. And he's saying, you know, I cleaned your entire nasty ass house. He says, I cleaned your entire nasty ass house and I helped you, only for you to accuse me of stealing, right? Now that TV decides to show us a montage of photos. And in those montage of photos, we see Ruby wearing the same jewelry that Yari's wearing, right? We see a picture of Yari wearing a flower chain. Then we see Ruby wearing the flower chain. Then we see another type of chain that Yari's wearing. And then we see Ruby wearing that chain. And the way that Now That's TV is editing it and making us, or at least the way they're portraying it and showing us, is that it looks like that Ruby has taken his jewelry, right? Now, Yari did say that he let Ruby wear a lot of his clothes, so maybe he was just wearing his jewelry and taking pictures with what he was wearing, right? I don't know, but it does look like he stole his jewelry based off of the narrative that they're trying to push here. Anybody else feel that way? But which one is it? Is it cologne or jewelry? Because Ruby and Yari are talking about some cologne that was stolen, but Now That's TV is showing us jewelry. Lots of pieces of jewelry that both of these boys were wearing. Now, Solid Too Hard. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Solid Too Hard is the one that's got a lot of mouth. He's really in the mix. He's the one going around dancing and, you know, starting shit with every guy in the house and approaching them. And now he has issue. I want to know what his real name is, because I hate calling these dudes by these, like, Solid Too Hard. Like, really, what is your real name, Emmanuel? Emmanuel, like I saw a video the other day. It was like, I'm not gonna call you Solid Too Hard. Your mama named you Emmanuel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I respect anybody that wants to be called what they want to be called, but I feel like in today's generation, in our world, in our time, everybody goes by like some weird stage name, and it's like, can we go by our names? Like, it's just weird. I don't know. Now, when we're on YouTube, that's different. We have usernames, right? If you have a username that you know, that's different. But in real life, you know, do you go around calling yourself your YouTube handle? I don't know. I digress. Anyway. Solid Too Hard is trying to run up on Ruby. He wants a piece of Ruby, but security ain't having it. They are holding him back at every chance that they get. And we see new boys rolling in, right? New boys are rolling in, and they're signing their contracts as soon as they walk in the door. It's like everybody's is in line walking in and signing their contracts. Now, a lot of y'all told me in the last video, Damien, yeah, they're just now signing their contracts because they only had a week to film. Which I get, they don't have a lot of time, right? I get that they don't have a lot of time to film and and whatever. But you should still have your contract signed before they even film. And the fact that these boys are walking in the door and, like, literally they're all walking in and signing a contract as if they're signing in. as if they're signing in to school or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I sort of feel sorry for a lot of these guys because it's just like, they're naive because they're walking into this situation, signing a contract that they don't even know what it says. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're signing away. You're signing away, giving your likeness to these people for $500 a week. And I don't know. And like, granted, the contract might not be bad at all, but still, someone should be looking over this. These and correct me if I'm wrong. Was it the contract that they were signing when they were walking in? I'm pretty sure that's what that is because we've seen that already now. Last week, they were telling the boys that were fighting, make sure you sign your contract. Make sure you sign your contract while they were in the middle of a fight. I just feel like that should be done before. There's a reason that you have weeks of pre-production beforehand to get that kind of stuff out of the way. Now, whoever the producer guy is that's like running the show, the guy that's wearing the black beanie, he's got like some dreads under the black beanie. He's got a beard. He's kind of heavy set guy. He kind of lost me because all the guys were outside standing in a circle, and like the producer was like, okay, everybody's going to take a shot, and you're going to come in the middle, take a shot, and you're going to say who you want to go home. What are we doing? Like, I'm just confused. Why? Like, and again, some of y'all said last week, oh, they only have a week to film, so they have to, find ways to come up with drama, or, they get put in group chats before they start filming to get drama drummed up or whatever, but I just don't understand. Like, I understand they're trying to create drama by saying, take a shot and say who you want to go home, but don't make it so obvious. I don't know, like, can we come up with something else? I just feel like things like this make the show not, like makes me not want to watch it. It's not as interesting because it's just like we're outside. These boys are outside standing around with no direction of what to do. Like, and it could all be so simple. Just put them in a house and film it and let it go. Let them go. Stop trying to, I feel like they're trying to, they're doing too much to produce these moments and it just looks bad. That's just me. It just looks lazy. It looks very, very lazy, all right? This is some shit Zeus would do. This is as creative as y'all can get. All right. Anyway. And two, it's like take a shot and choose which boy you want to go home. These boys barely know one another. How are you going to choose who you want to go home when you don't even know one another? You haven't got a chance to get to know one another. Hello, how are you? My name is, is that just me? Like, don't get me wrong, this show is not horrible, but I just don't see how some people are love this shit. I guess it's just the fighting that they're interested in. Now, Solid Too Hard is pressing Ruby again while they're outside, right? We saw him press Ruby last week because they were all in a group chat before filming started, and Ruby was like, oh, I got smoke for this person, I want to fight this person. So when they get in the house and these people face Ruby, like, look, you said what you said in the group chat. Let's run me my fade. Ruby's like, oh, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Then he says, oh, let's wait till we get into the house and then we'll fight. I don't want to fight out here. And it seemed like a lot of the boys were, had the same consensus and were on the same page that Ruby, you talked a lot of shit in the group chat, but now that we're here, you're backpedaling and pussy popping. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of you guys expressed that in the comments last week, and you're right. When you watch it, it does look like, well, and even though we didn't get to see the text messages, we didn't get to see the group chat, we don't know what happened prior to filming. Most of these boys said that Ruby was in the group chat pressing folks, talking about, oh, what, and I don't even, like, unless y'all know one another personally, why y'all pressing each other in the group chat before filming even start? I don't know. Maybe they're just looking for drama. Maybe they're just thirst bucket clout chasers. I don't know. But Ruby obviously is not feeling it. You can tell he does not want to fight. He says to the camera and to the boys, I don't want to fight. And he says, one of the things that I thought was interesting was that he says when he talked to the producer, he didn't know that it was going to be so many dudes there, right? So I think that's another thing. Maybe Ruby was in the group chat talking Cash Money shit, and he didn't realize how many guys were in that group chat or how many guys were on the cast. And then he showed up to filming, and there was like 35 dudes there, and it's like, whoa. Because, that would be a little intimidating to me, too, because if I'm going to get jumped, who in here knows who? And you got to constantly watch your back. That's a big cast. And when you've got 7, 8, 9 people in a house, okay, it's not as bad, right? I don't know, Ruby. It just seems like you wrote a check that your ass couldn't cash. Is what it sounds like to me. Now, can we talk about that shade assassin, Almond? Y'all remember Almond? Boy, that one's a character, right? Almond is good TV because he's got a big personality. Those confessionals, his confessionals, baby. That's the confessional sniper right there. Just take you out with a confessional right then. Now, we saw old boy, K-Bands, whoop Almond's ass in this episode. But, Almond says, so Almond is outside. And he got his little megaphone, right? And he talking to everybody. He drunk. And then we see K-Bands. And K-Bands was the one wearing those platform Rick Owens heels. You know what I'm talking about? And I guess K-Bands said something to Almond while he was on the megaphone. Told him to shut up, said something. And Almond was like, bitch, what? And, they kind of got into it. But in Almond's confessional, he said, I had anxiety. When you're around a bunch of flamboyant faggots that want to fight for camera time, of course I'm gonna drink. Bitch, I cackled and I screamed and I hollered. Almond is gonna be the read queen of the season, okay? Okay, because they're playing this game of take a shot and say, who do you want to go home? And then him and K-Bands get into it. And, K-Bands walks up on Almond, right? We see him walk up on Almond while Almond's got this big-ass megaphone in his hand. Almond said in his confessional, why would you walk up on me when I got this speakerphone in my hand? Ho, is you slow? And then he took that motherfucking megaphone, bitch, and bop, 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 whopped K-Bands in the face. Now, I was expecting K-Bands to get up and be bloody, battered, and bruised, right? I was expecting K-Bands to get up and be just fucked up in the face. Face dysmorphed, or whatever you say, whatever the word is, deformed. But he got up and he looked fine, right? He looked fine. K-Bands actually shocked me because I thought he was going to be a little stunt queen that was running his mouth and got his ass whooped, right? I thought that the megaphone in the face was going to take his ass out and they was going to have to rush him to the hospital. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, did them 6-inch Rick Owens heels fool me. Boy, did that face and makeup fool me. And see, that's what I'm telling people. Y'all got to be careful with fucking with the gays because these flamboyant boys, these boys with a face full of makeup and a purse will whoop your ass, will beat you down. Will beat you down. And we saw that, right? We saw that. Now, K-Bands did have a little bit of amnesia because he said when they were outside and Almond had the megaphone, he walked up to Almond and punched him in the face. That's not what happened. If you go back and look, K-Bands, you walked up to Almond and you threw a plastic cup in his face. That is what prompted him to take the megaphone and bop, 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 play whack-a-mole with your ass. So I don't know where you got that you punched him there. Maybe you just got it mixed up. Maybe because sometimes when things like this happen and they happen so fast, our memory gets a little, you know what I'm saying? Now, the boys go back inside. The boys go inside. They get them inside in a more controlled environment, I guess, so to speak, because they want to get their fades in. They want to get their licks back. They both want to fight. So I'm like, okay, let's see what's up. And I judged the book by its cover. I really did, because I thought K Baines was going to get his ass handed to him. But baby, was I in for a surprise? Was I in for a surprise, okay? Because K-Bands held his own, baby. Now, do I think K-Bands whooped Almond's ass? No, but he definitely broke that motherfucking nose. Because K-Bands was holding his own. He was keeping up with Almond for Almond to be a tall dude. Because Almond is 6'3". K-Bands was like, what? 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", something like that. So I was expecting Almond to like use his height and really just beat him down. But no, baby, K was punching up and went square in his nose. Broke this man's nose. Child. Now, Almond says that he got a nose job, and that's what happens when you get a nose job and it gets hit, that it's going to bleed. And I'm like, nose job or not, if you get hit in the nose, it's going to bleed or it's going to get broken. I think Almond was kind of using that as an excuse, as because he was probably kind of embarrassed that he was talking all that shit and thinking he was Big Mama Don, only to get whacked in the motherfucking nose by the smallest boy in the house. Only to get your nose broke by the smallest boy in the house. I think Kai humbled him a bit. I really do. I don't think he beat his ass, but I think he humbled him for sure. Now, Almond is walking around like, my nose, oh my God, is it broke? Is it broke? And one of the security guys tells him, like, yeah, it's definitely broke. And Almond's like, well, how do you know? And he's like, trust me, I'm an MMA fighter, I'm a trained fighter, I know. Your nose is broke, I can see the cartilage. And it was so, he's like, Almond's like, they're wanting him to go to the hospital. He's like, I don't want to go to the hospital. Can you fix it? Can you break it back? Can you bend it back? Can you break it back? And the guy's like, yeah, I can. I probably can, but it's super fucking dangerous and it's gonna hurt like hell. And Almond's like all for it. He's like, I don't care, just do it. I was like, boy, because that was me. I don't do pain well, y'all. I don't know about you. Maybe because Almond is super drunk right now. He's probably not feeling it. But I'm just thinking about the next day and how you gonna be in so much pain that you didn't go to the hospital and get you some pain meds and get that shit, took care of. He bent his nose back on his own, bitch. That shocked the fuck out of me when he said, oh, I fixed it myself. I'm like, I didn't hear a ouch. I didn't hear him scream. I didn't see a tear. He just, I know he was in so much pain that next morning. Oh my God. I just know it. I just know it. That security guy told him, I'd have to get permission from the production crew to fuck with your nose. And he said, it's very dangerous because it could fuck up your nasal passages. I wouldn't be surprised if Almond has to go back and get another rhinoplasty. I wouldn't be surprised if he has to go in and get more nose work done. Since he's had a nose job and then somebody's punched the nose job, yeah. And see, That's why I be telling y'all I couldn't do a show like this because it's not worth it. I'm not going, especially now that's TV, I'm not going to get my nose broke for $500. Because I guarantee you that's what a lot of these boys make. $500, $1,000, $1,500 at most for a week. And a lot of people, that's a lot of money to show up and fight. They're like, hell yeah, sign me up, but not me. A broke nose, do you know how much that hospital bills is going to be? I would be crying in the corner if my fucking nose was broke. I'd be crying in the motherfucking corner, bitch. Now here come Ruby. And Almond, what was wrong with Ruby in that moment, y'all? Because Almond, I get Almond was drunk, but he's trying to tell Ruby about his nose. And when he does, Ruby says, you should have shut up. That's what you get. You should have shut the fuck up. Which is kind of right. I mean, you was running your mouth. That is what you get. But Ruby just came in like screaming and yelling at him. And, At one point, he looked in the camera and he was like, "This is why, this is why I hadn't been. This is why I forgot what he said, but he was like, I'm too pretty for this. You think I'm gonna run my mouth and come here and get my nose broke? Hell no. That's why I'm leaving. All this shit." But it's like, Ruby, you've been running your mouth since you got here. What are you talking about, sis? You've been running your mouth since you got here. This is why nobody fucks with you, Ruby. Shut up. Like, you mad at Almond for doing the same thing that you've been doing since we started watching this season. Mm. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with Ruby in that moment, but he wanted to pop off and beat Almond's ass. I don't know. Maybe it was edited and Almond was doing a lot because Almond was drunk, obviously. Maybe he was doing a lot that we didn't see and everybody was just fed up with it. Now, what did y'all think about BB? That's Crystal's brother. I mean, boyfriend. I mean, brother, husband. Whatever y'all want to call him. Crystal's look-alike. Her boyfriend. We know Crystal from Now That's TV. Her boyfriend, aka her brother, he decides to bring the producer guy I was telling y'all about earlier a gift, a Louis Vuitton gift, the same gift that Crystal brought Ferrari on Young and Reckless. Y'all remember Crystal brought Ferrari a Louis Vuitton perfume? Well, BB did the same thing. He went and bought a Louis Vuitton perfume or cologne for the producer. Now, he says he did it because they gave him an opportunity, so he wanted to do something in thanks. But to me, it just gives kiss ass. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, they gave you an opportunity, but they gave everybody an opportunity. That's their job. You know, they're getting paid to do this. It's not like they just went out and chose you to be some kind of star or something. It just, I don't know, him and Crystal doing that. And listen, I'm the type, I like to give gifts too. I'm a giver. I'm a gifter. So I understand, but it came off kind of thirst buckety for him and Crystal. And then it also kind of like, because some of the boys just like, oh, he got money. They got money. Him and Crystal got money. And I'm not hating or nothing, but I really don't think they do. I mean, a Louis Vuitton fragrance is probably what, $100, $200, a couple $100. I don't know. Let's look and see how much a Louis Vuitton fragrance is. Now, had they came in there with a bag, a Louis Vuitton bag, a duffel bag, a purse, a Chanel purse, you know, maybe even a belt or something, I would be like, oh shit, yeah, they got the money. But anybody can buy a fragrance, right? From Louis Vuitton. Um, they're about 300. They're about 320. I mean, and that's still expensive too. Don't get me wrong. It just seemed kind of like flexing. It kind of just seemed like, let me buy something and maybe I'll get to be on the next show. Maybe let me buy something. Maybe I'll be around for a while. And I don't know. And listen, I like the BB dude. He seems pretty cool, but it just seems like y'all are trying to buy off the producer. You know? Like, it seems like you're trying to buy their loyalty, buy their friendship. It just reeks of desperation. Am I the only one that feels like that? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I always thought, at first, I thought BB was a girl. Now, I know he looked like a dude, but I thought he was a girl because it gave like a girl that wants to be a guy vibe, you know, or like a trans man vibe. BB kind of did. I don't want to say stud because that's not really the right word, and I think that can be an offensive term to some. But yeah, BB just kind of gave me girl vibes. I don't know what it is about him. Now, one of these dudes' names is STD Scott. STD Scott. Why would anybody call themselves STD anything? I don't care if that is your initials. Now, Kobe is the one with the little pink patch under his eye. I think he is so cute. You know, I told y'all I love imperfections on people, and that's one of the things I love. Kobe has this little pink patch. I think it's so cute. Anyway, now him and STD Scott apparently have a past, right? And a lot of these boys are from the New Orleans area. I think I think what Now That's TV does is cast people in the area. That way they don't have to fly them out because that cuts out on the budget. So I understand, they don't have a Zeus Network budget. So they kind of so if they're going to do Playboys, New York, they're going to cast boys more so in the New York area so they don't have to get a plane ticket for them. So that makes sense. So some of these boys have history because, they're being casted in the same city, so they know one another. And that's the case with STD Scott and Kobe. Now, they are arguing and going back and forth because they have some sort of beef, some sort of unresolved issues. And we find out that they used to date back in high school. They used to mess around. They had something going on. And while they're arguing and going back and forth, Scott tells Kobe, "Why you running your mouth? Why don't you tell everybody how you shitted?" I was just like, huh? Huh? Wait, what? I had to rewind it for a minute. And then in his confessional, Scott explains that, oh, when me and Kobe were younger, we had a past, and we hooked up, and he shit on me, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, why are you trying to read this boy for it all these years later? Like, y'all got to be every bit of 22, 23, 24, and y'all knew each other and messed around back in high school when you was what, 16, 17? So 5, 6 years, something you talking about something 5 or 6 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and you bringing it up now to try to shame the boy. I didn't know whether to laugh or feel bad for old Kobe. I didn't know. And Scott says he had to put Kobe out after that. I'm like, now you gonna put the boy out? But you know what? Here's the thing. I respect Kobe because he got in that confessional and he was honest about it. He said, yeah, you know what? It did happen. I was young. I didn't know really how, to douche, to if you haven't had anal sex, those who know, you know what I'm talking about. Those that don't know, you can't just put a dick in your butt and expect it to be all dandelions and candy, right? And daisies and sunflowers and sunshine. You gotta prep for it. You gotta prepare yourself for it. You gotta squirt water up your ass. You gotta take a shower and get nice and clean. So when you're a young gay, when you're a young horny gay and you're a teenager and you don't know anything about sex, really, they teach us heterosexual sex in school, but they don't teach you homosexual sex in school. So us gays, we kind of have to figure it out on our own. And that's kind of what I think Kobe had to do. I think he was kind of going through that exploratory period to where he was trying to have sex, but didn't really know how or what to do and didn't know about douching. And, shit on somebody, I guess, had an accident. But he owned it and he was honest because he could have gotten that confessional and he could have lied about it and he could have been his word versus Scott's word and we would have never known. But he was real. So listen, I fucks with Kobe for that reason right there. Because a lot of you bitches and hoes and tricks and shit would get up there on their camera and you would lie through your motherfucking teeth. And Kobe kept it a buck. So you straight in my book, Kobe. I fucks with you. Shit happens. Pun intended. Now, how Trey Coolin, y'all know Trey Coolin is the one I talked about last week that I said is fine, that look like Snoop Dogg. How he ended up getting into mixed fighting, I don't know, because I was just bragging about what I loved about him is that he didn't have to fight, he didn't seem like he wanted to fight, and he didn't seem thirsty, loud, obnoxious, and annoying. But this week, we see him get mad at Scott because Scott says something. I forgot what he says. The word is, I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down. G-Night. That's what it is. Scott says, Trey's mad at me because I said G-Night, which is apparently some sort of slang in New Orleans that means something. I don't know why Trey got so mad when he said that. If I have anybody from New Orleans that knows what that means, let me know in the comments and let me know why Trey got so mad. Why would somebody get so mad if someone said G-Night? Because, you know, Trey wants to fight. He want to fight. He runs up on Scott, um, and wants to fight. And then we also see an altercation between Scott and BB. I mean, Scott fought with Trey. Scott fought with BB. Scott fought with Kobe. He was just left and right taking on people, okay? Now, he kind of deserved what he got from BB, because while you fucking was with BB, he walked up to BB and said, "Why are you so quiet? Weren't you the one that said the N-word at the auditions?" When come to find out, it wasn't BB that said the N-word at the auditions. It was some other white, light-skinned boy that said it. So, Scott gonna go start some shit with BB for nothing. Now, BB said, "Bitch, let me show you what time it is," right? Now, when those two fall, I thought BB won that. What do y'all think? When it came down to STD Scott versus BB, who do you think won that fight? Because I think BB took that one. He took that fight. He's so pale, though. Looking like he's straight up at the Addams family. But that was an impressive fight between BB and Scott. I'm not gonna lie. That was an impressive fight. Now, BB says he was drunk. He didn't look drunk. He didn't seem drunk, but he says he was drunk. I don't know if he was using that as an excuse because maybe he thought he didn't do a good job in the fight. I don't know. But I thought he did a pretty decent job. And, you know, at this point, everybody's just taking their turns on Scott. Everybody. And it's madness, right? It's madness. And we have to wait until next week to see what happens with the Playboys in New Orleans. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Get in the comment section below. Leave me all your thoughts and opinions, all right? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button. It's right down there. If you don't know where it's at, just click my face or the Damien After Dark tab and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to also click the thumbs up button right down there and like this video. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm, if you don't mind. And last but not least, if you would love to donate to the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I will also post my Amazon wish list for those that choose to take that route. If you leave a super chat, please be mindful that YouTube will take 50% of the money that you guys tip us creators, okay? I want to say thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Damien After Dark. Make sure you tune in Sundays for the Baddies Caribbean After Show. And coming on later this month is the season premiere of the season 4 of Damien After Dark, the podcast, where we will be talking everything from reality TV, hot topics, celebrity gossip, politics, astrology and horoscopes, relationships, sex, and so much more. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you turn those post notifications on. I love you guys so much for tuning in and being here. Please don't ever forget how special you are. Remember how grateful you are to wake up and have another day on earth. Someone took their last breath today. So take advantage of this day. Follow your heart, love yourself, and put yourself first. You promise? I love you, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. Bye.